and see that some people started on that homework, and that's good. We're going to do one more problem from page 343, or one like it. Here we have 0.4 over 0.22, and that equals to, now whether you use x or n, it really doesn't matter. But whatever the problem starts with, you have to finish with that. So in other words, if the problem has x on it, then you can't change it to n. You have to have x, okay, or if it's a or whatever. All right. So here, one thing that we can do is we can just go ahead and move the decimal. Well, or you can just go ahead and cross multiply it through. Let's just go ahead and work with the decimals and see how we do with that. So we're just going to flat out go ahead and cross multiply just the way they are. So we get 0.22x equals to 0.4 times 0.11. All right, and at this point, we're going to get 0.11 times 0.4. Move that decimal over, and that'll give us, we get 44. But where's that decimal point going? How many places are we going to move that? 3, right? So that means we're going to have 0.044. So again, you have to watch for the decimal point when you're multiplying. It looks easy to just put 44 there, but you got to watch it, because there could be a 0 in there. Okay, so we got 0.22x equals to 0.044. All right, now what do you think we would do? Divide, right. Divide the 0.22, divide 0.22, and at that point, you know, these two cancel, they go to 1. Okay? So that's actually a 1x there. Alright, and so here we can, what can we do here when we've got to simplify that, right? So we could do a couple of things here. What would you think we would need to do? Okay.
Move the decimal point.
Okay, move that decimal point, right, so that you have a whole number in the denominator. Okay, so this is moved 2 places. What do you think we got to do with the numerator? Move that 2 places. So that becomes 4. So in the numerator we get what? 4.4. Denominator we get 22. Okay. Now can we go ahead and cancel from here? Well, let's try. Let's look and see if we can. Let's do long division. So here's 22, and we put, why do we put 4.4 inside our division sign? Well, where is it in relation to our rational number? The numerator, right? The numerator always goes, numerator is our dividend, that always goes, that's being divided. The 22, that's our divider. The 22 is dividing into the 4.4. And this was part of the problem that a lot of people had on the last test as far as dividing decimals go. Okay? So here, got to put a decimal point, right? Now what? Does 22 go into 4?
No.
Doesn't. So how about 22 into 44? Yeah. And so that would be 2 times. Alright? So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, right?
Sorry.
Mom, you're being called.
This is my son too.
Okay, and so we get x equals to 0.2. Alright?
Alright, no, where you went on and moved the decimals before you divide, and you take it over and then move the decimals? Are you gonna have the same or a different answer?
Now the way I understand your question is,
You go ahead and divide that as is and move it,
If
move all the decimals, it's gonna be the same, right?
if you did not move the decimal and you divided with,
Yeah.
well, the problem with that is now you're multiplying. See, if we did, alright, that's a pretty good question.
Yeah, because,
See, because here, let's say this is what we had before. We had 0.044, and we had 0.22, right? So, now you have to ask yourself, well, how many times does 0.22 go into 0.44? Well, it goes 0.2 times, right? Well, if you put the decimal point here, then you're going to put 0.2. Well,
so
now you've got two. See, if you're looking at 0.22 times 0.2, right? That'll be 0.044. But that is really hard to see.
well, see, what I thought, at that point
Quotient
right
that
there,
way.
you would move the decimals to make it a whole number and then go ahead and move it on over.
Yeah, you really have to go ahead and move that over, and so this one would have to be moved over. Oh, you mean
Yeah.
set it up decimal and then move the decimal?
Right.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So what you're saying is go ahead and put it as, what was this, 0.22, right?
Right.
And then the other one's 0.044,
You're gonna
and
come
now
out with
move the decimal.
you'll come out with the same answer,
Yeah.
correct?
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. If that works for you, then that's fine. Yeah. Go ahead and do that. As long as you remember to move that decimal. Yeah. That'll work.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Okay. All right. Any other questions with that? Okay. Let's take a look at a couple of problems from worksheet A, part 2. And worksheet A, part 2, again, I ask that you